Hello everyone, this is Shadowstorm64 and today I will be giving you my thoughts on the Pokémon Sun and Moon anime. As a Pokémon fan since the day I touched Pokémon Platinum, the anime has become something I've enjoyed throughout my childhood and even now. However, the Sun and Moon series is probably the part that stands out the most. I've seen many big YouTubers start out on the trend of saying the anime is great, despite its initial backlash due to the drastic change in art style and setting. I'm no artist or animation expert, but you don't need to be Gordon Ramsay to have to determine if food is good or bad. For me, I preferred the more clean, sharp look that X and Y had, but to each their own. I myself was one of the many Pokemon fans that was pissed that Ash lost the Kalos League and wanted to write his name in the Death Note. When I saw the preview for Sun and Moon, I was turned off and decided not to watch it. As a matter of fact, I decided to stop watching the anime altogether since I saw it as a shadow of its former self. However, I never not watch an anime even if my first impressions tell me it sucks, due to my curiosity overpowering that suspicion. So I ended up binge watching the series and managed to get caught up with it. And now this video will explain my new thoughts. What I liked about Sun and Moon was how Ash seemed to have more personality than he did in the last few seasons. Perhaps it was the expressiveness of the new art style and animation, but his personality reminded me of how he was in Kanto, a light-hearted character with some naivete but also had a side of snark. He wasn't necessarily as much of a battle drone like he was in Kalos, not that that was a bad thing. However, this was indeed a nice change of pace. I also liked how this series didn't stray from X and Y's strong point of giving other characters some spotlight and they don't just sit there and do nothing. This also goes for the Pokemon too, who are given much more personality than they are usually given. Not to say Pokemon haven't been given a lot of personality before, just look at Charizard, Infernape, Greninja, and of course Pikachu, just to name a few of them. However, despite all this, there is one major issue I have with the series: its premise. After all these years of Ash trying to beat the Pokemon League and become a Pokemon Master, he suddenly takes a sharp U-turn and now is going to school, and the series makes him do things he never did before. Of course, change is good, but only if it complements what came before it. I feel like this happened too late in the game. Ash has been through 5+ regions, and now the writers have decided to have a change of pace. Maybe if this arc happened all the way back after Ash lost the Kanto League and he had to take a different approach in order to win, or train himself back from the beginning, or maybe if he won a league and achieved his main goal, and he could probably move on to something else like he did in Sun and Moon, and it would have flowed much better. But it seems so abrupt and sudden to feel like a progression of his journey and his story. That's because it isn't. I understand Pokemon is meant for children, however that doesn't mean Ash cannot progress and grow as well. Look at Digimon or Yu-Gi-Oh!, where by the end, the characters have reached their goals and have matured, and the story moves on to a new protagonist to keep everything going. But Pokemon is like One Piece at this point, and it's eternally going on and on to maintain the status quo. Ash is forever 10, and although each season may have their differences, by the end, everything returns to the status quo and nothing really changes. I would have loved to see an older Ash. Maybe after Sun and Moon, they can make a series about Ash's son and his journey, and maybe have Ash be a supporting character, or maybe have the champion of Kanto or whatever new region they introduce in the future. If other anime can have their protagonists grow up with the audience, so can Pokemon. But unfortunately, that is not the case. As this video is being recorded, the anime currently has Ash and his squad going around finding Ultra Beasts, with Necrozma in the fray as well. I don't know how this anime will end at this point, but I'll have to wait and see. The anime has turned from more of an adventure type series to more of a slice of life type anime, which isn't necessarily bad, but considering what Pokemon has been up to this point, this sudden change is something that I will have to see through first. However, I am glad that they seemingly broke the cycle of Ash going to a new region, challenging the league, then losing in the finals, rinse and repeat. But I'm more interested in what they will do after Sun and Moon, if they will continue with Ash on a different path or go back to the working formula. Either way, this anime is currently at a stage that I can't really judge it, since not only has it ended, but I can't predict where it might go. Ultimately, it has potential, but at the same time has the potential to completely backlash and divide the fan base in a way we have never seen before. When Sun and Moon is over, I will give a more detailed review, and hopefully I wouldn't have dropped the series by then. If I had to give it a score so far, it's a 6 out of 10, about average. Next time I do a review, it will be on the Pokemon X and Y games, and I have yet to complete Pokemon Ultra Sun, but when I do, I will review Gen 7 as a whole when it comes to the games. But for my next video, it will be something a bit different. Thanks to my feedback on my My Hero Academia review, I've decided to go into more detail on what I consider to be good writing for anime in general. You will see what I mean when the time comes. Well then, this is Shadowstorm64, and I will see you next video.